Some experiences are pleasant, some are unpleasant. Some mental states are pleasant and some are unpleasant. We practice accepting all of it exactly as it is. We bear with and remain awake. In the presence of the unpleasant, in the presence of pain. We remain awake and not identified with pleasures, with the pleasant, with the very positive experiences. This is a skill. It's a development. It's an evolutionary leap. And to make this leap, we bring with us, we allow the emergence of love and compassion. I aspire in this and every moment to love and accept myself and my experience, the experience, exactly as it is in this moment. Each breath has a beginning. Each breath has an ending. Each breath has a lifetime. In this careful attending, the lying down in long grass, we notice also that thoughts have a beginning and an ending. Strange to discover that thoughts are actually no more personal than clouds. And please now notice the aliveness of the contact of the body with the chair, with the cushion, with the floor, with the clothing. Awakening to the aliveness of the entirety of this body. And please now notice the aliveness in the hands, in the throat, in the cheeks, in the eyes. And notice the intention to allow these eyes to open. And then operationalizing that intention, and then, in fact, another sense door comes online. Seeing. And we know that because objects appear. And if the eye and the whole seeing system is intact, there may appear persons or images we interpret as persons. And we get to see one another. If seeing is not fully function. There might be light or darkness, shades of dark, shades of light, patterns. There might be whatever the particular experience you have, and awareness of that. Seeing. I recently picked up a familiar old book. I read it years ago. I taught classes on it years ago. Stephen Levine's A Year to Live. And I think in the fall I'm going to start a class, a year-long class on A Year to Live. It's very much bringing one's attention to the fact that our being here is very brief. And there's a lot of contemplations of gratitude, finishing business, and living. Just let me say this. Lovely to see you this morning, Jim. I hope you have a great class. I'm sure you will. What a wonderful friend you are. So anyway, the emphasis of it is a very central one of Buddhist practice, which is the remembrance of our temporality, of our mortality. And in the words of Don Juan Carlos Castaneda, it's the practice of keeping death over one's shoulder, over one's left shoulder, I think he said. Because today could be our departure day. Or maybe tomorrow, or maybe next week, or 10 years from now. But we really just never know. And it's not something that most human beings keep in mind. It's there. It's always nagging. But it's to actually bring it to the forefront. And as you're eating your breakfast, think, this could be my last breakfast. Not with the intention of creating, oh no, this is a bad thing, but wow, I get to have another breakfast. When you hug your children goodbye and they go off on the school bus or whatever they do. I remember how hard that was at first. Letting them go out the door. Now, of course, they travel all over the world, and some do, mine did. They travel around in cars, and it's anyway. It's about this remembrance. I'm going to be coming back to it. I always do somewhat, but I'm deeply involved in that practice myself right now. It makes the preciousness of life so apparent. Jennifer needed, she was making a wonderful fish taco dinner last night, and we needed a couple of things at the store, and it's about a mile and a half. I went as I mostly do. Most often I took my bike. And they're always riding along on it. It's got a nice bike path, but cars are going by fast. And I kept in mind, this could be my last bike ride. It's really important to stay awake and participate in making it not be my last bike ride. But just I invite you to have that thought, that capacity. Yeah, wow. What a day. We get another day. At least till now. So I think that's all I want to say this morning, and There are some announcements, I'm sure, but I can't remember what they are. So if you have something to share, I would be happy to participate in that. And plug my headset in. Oh, I guess I have another request. I have a request. If there's someone among us who comes regularly to this gathering and who has some ease with the computer, I noticed a note from people watching on YouTube that the sound is bad. And I checked it myself this morning, and the sound is not only bad, it is impossible. And if there were someone who would be willing to check Facebook and YouTube each day, I'm going to talk with tech support today finally, and see if I can clean that up. But it wasn't worth watching. So if that happened to be you that could help with that, please email me, robert@robertbeatty.com. It would be an intrusion into your meditation. It would mean it would you'd be functioning in that piece of the brain functioning. But if that'd be easy for you, please let me know. So what have you happening on your plates today? You're precious, alive, one of a kind today. That's one very happy cat, Amy. You don't need to say anything. I was just commenting. Very broken up sound. Nice to see you this morning. Oh. And Denise, I saw that sweet hug this morning. That was nice. Trisha, hello. Dare I ask what continent you're on? I see. You'll be going just as the center opens. If you. Yes, you're doomed. No, that's not how it's going to be. That's a habit. That's a mental habit. And actually, let's try a little experiment. Please take your put your left hand. I put my hand up here where it can be seen. Take, and we can all do this. Take your left hand or either hand. Take one hand and put it in such a way that you can then bring your other hand and then touch and then stroke that hand and be aware of the actual sensations. It doesn't take any words. Now you could say, "Oh, now I'm stroking my hand," but there's just touch. And in exactly the same way, we could let's say this: become aware of the many places in the body where the clothing is touching the body. It doesn't take any words. We have a part of the construction and the reconstruction and the refurbishing of the self is this storytelling mode, where there's always those words and descriptions, and it's useful to notice that's as we just did. Did that make sense? Did you grok that, so to speak? Did you read Stranger in a Strange Land, perchance? Yeah. I yeah, me too. So grokking. And then something else you could note is that when awareness notices the thinking, there isn't thinking about that. It's already doing it, is what I'm trying to say. I'm getting too complicated. An antidote, or a way that many people find that sets them free of this, is to attend to the breathing more and more intimately. To notice the beginning. To notice the fact of the expansion and the rising, but to be there present in the actual sensations. And the more that's the development of, quote, concentration. It's the mind's ability to take an object and be there. And then as concentration builds, there's no room for all that other stuff that happens. It just gets quieted down. It gets suppressed, actually. So more intimacy with the sense object. But we can practice it all kinds of... Sometime today, I bet... You will drink. You should, of course. You should drink 8 glasses of water. But there will come a time when you're taking a drink. Pause, and just be aware of the coldness of what happens in the mouth, and do it with great intimacy. And that'll be another moment when you'll notice that there doesn't need to be thinking about drinking. It's just sensations. Make sense? You're witnessing very clearly, and I would say skillfully, the song of the self, which is I, me, mine, I, me, mine. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm not doing this. I like this, I don't like blah 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 blah. Because and it's an artifact. It's what is it? It's the self creating itself. And it falls away over time. It can be tedious, can't it? Well, you know, most of us talk to ourselves. and that also falls away. It just becomes redundant. And observing that process, observing the mind doing that self-talk is also perfect. One has already arrived at the goal in a way. To be able to observe the thought processes as what they are, that's presence. And so then there's disliking of that. You can notice the disliking as well. Because there's no way to stop this. It will naturally stop. When it's observed as not self. Here's this process yakking away. And then what happens? Well, it ceases to exist in that moment of noticing it. No, there it is. Gone. So it's not as though you're doing something wrong, I guess is what I'm trying to come to. It's just a way that the self manifests itself. Yes. And isn't that wonderful? That it's at more and more subtle layers. Right. Yeah. Lovely to see you this morning. Hello, Joy. It's the Buddha. Mm-hmm. Pause. Let it all be. That's worthy of a gong. What a moment of realization. What a fantastic moment of realization. Well, there was a role I played in my family between my two sisters who really didn't get along very well at all. They were manifestations of the family illness. And I was the go-between. I always was trying to bring peace and so on. And there was a time, it's a long time ago now, 20 years or so, when I tried to do something and it made a real mess. And then I actually wrote a letter to them both, resigning from my role. One of them went into therapy, and the other one started talking to her priest. So, because it was such a huge change of the dynamic. And one thing I would predict this: when you're back in the heat of that family emotional system, you're going to fail miserably and fall back into the old pattern. And yeah. And then you're going to recognize what's happening, and you're going to go, whoa, well, look how powerful that family emotional system is. I can have mercy on me. I can love myself even though I just did the same old pattern. And then another time, your brother will go into rage, and you'll notice him as a raging infant. And have compassion and realize that's his life. I don't have to do anything. But both will happen. And then over time, you will become more and more able to not engage in the system. That's just how it is. And but it's very important not to create some ideal. Because that you were an infant and then a toddler, and then you were formed in the crucible of that family. And the cues not perceivable cues that are given to have you be back in your role. It's the family system is incredibly powerful. But this is an opportunity, an incredible opportunity to make a step. And that'll be an important step. But not perfection. Not perfection. Congratulations. I mean, having that become really a central part of your practice is huge. Right. Right. Yeah. How could you forecast them? Yeah. I have another suggestion, if I may. And this comes from hang on. Can't remember his name. Maybe somebody else will. One of the creators of family therapy. He's the guy who coined the term the family emotional system. There's a practice you can do when you do a home visit. It's like you're visiting another planet. You're revisiting a planet. And that is to figure out to discover what's one thing that you always do in that system that you don't want to do. What's one small thing? I mean, when I used to go home when my parents were still alive decades ago. One time I decided that every day I would go for a run for at least an hour. And my mother cried. You're only here for a few days and you're going to be gone for an hour? And I still did it. Another was that I did instead of going, I'm a very early riser and always have been. And my mother would always be up down in the kitchen smoking a cigarette, looking out the window and drinking her coffee and listening to French Canadian talk radio. And I would get up early and go down, and then my mother and I would talk for 2 or 3 hours. And I decided I'm not going downstairs till 9. And I woke up and I did yoga and I stretched and I meditated and I had a couple of hours at least to myself before I entered the system. It was radical. because I had myself more. And I did this each year. I would go home and visit and I'd make one seemingly small change. And every time it was met with resistance. So you might think, what's one small thing you could do in that family emotional system that would help keep you sane? Don't make it a big thing. Don't make it that you're going to be perfect there. But that you know. So think of something that would be nurturing to you that you will do or not do. There was also the issue for me of entering my family system of whether I would drink alcohol or how much or how frequently. And making that decision, that was a big one. That made everybody really uncomfortable. Yes, yeah. There's a term, the therapy world uses the term internally disorganized. Yeah. And it happens, and they can just a glance. A glance or a growl, your brother growling, or some, and it's like put you in your place. Or oh, I'm going to die if you don't stay. If you go for a run, I'm going to die. That kind. Yeah. That's very powerful practice. Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, I see. You can wash the sheets. Do keep us posted, okay? Joy's visit to another planet. You're most welcome. It's exciting to think that you're going to do that. It's great. Right. Parachuting into enemy territory. Aha. Well, anybody else? We have time for one more person, perhaps, if you want. Mm-hmm. Well, let's close with a traditional chant. Thank you all for coming. It's lovely to be with you. Strengthening, encouraging, comfortable. Please unmute if you wish, and we'll make some lovely cacophony. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Please enjoy the beauty of your aliveness today. Cherish the fact that you're alive. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. Prepare for the leap to hyperspace. You wait for the beep? Oh, the leap. All right. Do you like my sound effects? I tend to make some kind of a sound. You know.